not going to lie, that was a bit impressive.
Absolutely, yeah.
We were talking about how risky it is, and you only said it at one point.
Yeah.
That is risky, but everything else was like, yeah, well, whatever.
Exactly.
But that's a cool way of getting around. So I'd really prefer to wake up in the morning, like making some sort of fancy jump into my clothes and then walk that way to my work to use all the energy I probably have spare for the whole day. So I'm super exhausted when I get there, but I looked really cool doing it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel sorry for the security guard who was probably chasing that guy at the time,
just
right?
like all of them.
But there you go. Yeah.
Don't you hate if assassins walk past you? So I really love that video. So props to the person doing that. That looked really, really cool. Also, why don't we wear those costumes here? I was requesting it. Natalia said, like, you left it.
Yeah, I left it back at home. Sorry.
I
know.
Unfortunately, we don't cast in costumes. Well, next event I will make sure.
Okay.
That, so if anyone of you guys at home is like pretty good in sewing stuff together, make sure to make us costumes. Would you wear something like that? You have to say yes.
Yes,
no.
yes,
Actually, there is no
absolutely.
other way you can pull it up.
Yes, I so would. Even in the street, I would wear one.
You should. I don't think you can ever go wrong with wearing an assassin's outfit. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward for the first game we're going to cast. And for you guys at home who don't have any clue about that game, which kind of includes me too, this good sir here is going to explain everything to you. And I'm going to ask all the fancy questions so you don't have to do that. You're welcome. And yeah, we're going to explain to you the abilities. We're going to explain the maps to you. We're going to try to make sure that you understand what the players are up to so it doesn't look like a slaughter feast. Like, oh, they're killing each other.
Yeah.
But why? So we're going to make sure that you guys understand it all. And afterwards, we're going to get into like proper commentary. But for the beginning, we would like to make sure that everyone at home knows what's going on. We're going to explain the interface to you. As I know there's going to be some people watching who play the game themselves and know what's up. But yeah, so for those people, we're really sorry. Bear with us and listen away. Just enjoy watching it and don't mind us. But yeah, for everyone else, this will be a good way to learn and understand the game and make you want to play it, as that's happening pretty fast, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah. So we already covered Manhunt briefly, but just to go into the basics of Assassin's Creed, and as I already mentioned, a lot of it's to do with not the amount of kills you get, but the quality of the kills that you get. So the thing is to be stealthy, or there are lots of different ways to play, but one of the things you need to, we'll be describing what you see on the screen as well, so explaining the HUD and showing those things, because it's a lot easier than just talking with over a blank screen. But the key things is you should be careful how you approach people, whether you're in high profile or not, because when you're in high profile you start losing points, or you reduce the amount of points you will earn when you score from a kill. And then depending on the game mode, like Manhunt, if you're the pursuer, you're going to be scoring when you kill. If you're the target, you can't kill, you can only stun. So even if you manage to get a stun off and you manage to stun the team that are trying to kill you, you're going to have to get out of that area very, very quickly, because one of their friends is probably coming in, some sort of backup, and they're going to be on top of you straight away. So you've got to be really, really careful.
Yeah, I mean, it's very seldom in the game in general that you walk around by yourself, as it always is better. Mostly if you're the target, it's just that you can only stun them if there is a second one coming up against you. Like, there's not too much you can do. Sure, we have abilities which help you get away. There's a lot of escape mechanisms kind of thing, but obviously that stuff needs to be timed, as the abilities have cooldowns on them. So there's a lot of communication which needs to go on between the teams, between the players, between the teams, only between your own team, obviously. You don't want to know what the other ones are doing. And yeah, that makes the whole thing very tricky. And we will see that happening. And that's what's making the whole thing very interesting and very exciting, as stuff can turn so fast. I mean, you can be in the lead once and then you just get really fall behind because it's just not working proper anymore. Like if you don't communicate proper, if you spawn on a stupid point, you have to get back to your team, and yeah, that can get really, really close. So we obviously hope for close matches here.
That's very true, and like you say, as a team that's supposed to be hiding the targets, you're going to score more points if you're as a group hiding than individually hiding. So what you will see at the start, depending on which team we're viewing, if we're viewing the team that are the targets, you will see them grouping together, and we have what's known as a blend group. You walk into a blend group and you start earning points for being hidden, in that position. Now, if more than one player is in the same blend group or a blend group that's very close by, you'll see a line that is drawn between the two, and you'll see a point counter going up that'll say hidden. And this is basically them scoring more and more points. So they're going to try and hide for as long as possible till the very final moment when they're aware that the targets have got close. You'll know this because you'll hear the whispers, which is a sign that the people who are after you are coming close. And then they're going to try and use different abilities. So potentially abilities like decoy, which makes someone who looks a lot like you run off. To try and lure them away. They have things like Bodyguard. Bodyguard is a character that looks very much like you, but they will actually go and try and stun the person who's after you if you have them locked. There's other things like Firecracker. That kind of blinds them temporarily, allows them to get a stun off. There's also the Smoke Bomb, which will temporarily make your pursuer vulnerable, kind of locks them in place for a short period of time. And we'll probably see that being used certainly by the people who are playing as the targets.
Yeah, so and apart from that, I mean, we have 14 overall abilities. There's a lot of abilities to choose from. Each of those players can make their own sets, and obviously, like they do however they like to play. If you play more sneaky or you're more aggressive going out there, obviously as a target you don't want to be aggressive. You want to get away as quickly as you can, so therefore we use the smoke bombs and like decoy kind of stuff, and like just everything which would prevent your opponent from getting to you. And now we actually see one of the teams getting ready. I think that was the TemplassinS.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
And is that Pomf?
Yeah, that's Pomf.
Okay.
So, yeah, Pomf, obviously their cheerleader. He will be coaching them. He's a pretty good assassin himself. I'm only saying that because I'm nice at the moment. Did you watch him? The guys from the O Gaming crew from AllTab, they did play beforehand last week. I did watch it.
Oh, yes, yeah, I watched the live stream when they were testing
let's say that
the
matches were very close.
They were, yeah. There was some interesting matches.
Interesting choices were being made. And well, yeah, that's all I can say really about it. So we were glad Pomf is not playing at the moment, but coaching. Let's see how it does there. No offense, of course. And yeah, now we do see our lovely split screen. But do you see all those players? We have Lord, who is actually called the Lord Junior. We have Karma, Frank, and Aphrodisia. Once again, if we do mix up the names, I don't say them proper. Just say the team's name. We're really sorry for them.
So, and this team is currently the targets, so they're hiding. So you're going to see, as we said before, the team's going to try and get into a close group together. It looks like Frank, I think, dropped down a tripwire bomb. You can see that in the best one is Aphrodisia. You can see on her screen at the moment, I think. And someone's used a offensive smoke bomb to try and stop them.
So I believe this is still the warm-up, as we do have a warm-up.
Oh, is it?
Before. I think, yeah. Okay. I think this is actually still the warm-up. That's why we probably have the split screen. We will go on single screens to not confuse you too much during the first games. Now we do also see one of the single screens where you see following Aphrodisia. That's a hard name to say.
Yeah, I believe she's our only female player.
Is she the female player?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, I will guess from the name now. I mean, she could also be Frank. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll find that out.
We never know. But yeah, we only have one female player. She is setting up her skill sets more defensively. She has the shield.
Yeah, she just used the shield, and she's got smoke bomb. Okay, so what you've just seen there is what's known as a contested kill, or rather, she had an honourable death. It means that she attacked her target attacked her back. Whenever it comes to a conflict like that, where both are attacking each other, the person who is the pursuer will always have the upper hand. They'll always get the kill, but in a contested kill situation like that, they will have lower points than if they got a uncontested kill.
Yeah, I think for a contested kill, or rather for honorable death, you get like 100 points. So it's always worth, if you know there is no way out and you will face that person, you better just go jump at them to at least get those points and not have him with so many points. The warm-up is, by the way, 10 minutes long. So you can get adjusted to the game for a second now. And let's just explain the hood. Let's explain the hood, yo. Now, let's explain the HUD quickly to you guys at home so you understand what's going on. At the moment, we're obviously following the target. So, yeah.
Sure. So at the top, you will see the time of the time remaining for the round. You'll also see 1 of 2, which is to show the fact that we're playing the first of the 2 rounds. The white score is always the team that you're viewing, so it's the friendly team effectively, and the red score is always the enemy team. So currently in this warm-up, the Templar Assassins are losing, but that's somewhat to be expected because it's often easier to get more points as the pursuers.
Exactly. I mean, we're going to hopefully see the screen of a pursuer anytime soon as well, so we can explain the HUD there, as it is a little bit different, as they do have like some sort of compass going on to find out where you are, which obviously they're not running around the map and just like guessing, like that could be my opponent. Let's try that one. So they do have ways to figure out who you are and where you are.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll be following the Templar Assassins for the second round, so we can explain what the pursuers see as well. You'll also see in the bottom left-hand corner that this is where the abilities are shown. Each player has 2 main abilities of the 14 abilities to choose from, and on top of that they have what's known as the ranged ability. There are only 4 ranged abilities. Some of them are lethal, some of them are not lethal. When you are a pursuer, it's very important, as I explained, that when you're a target, you are not able to kill, so it would be pointless taking any ability like gun or poison dart. We can see here that Karma has taken the knives, which will give him a bit of time in certain situations. He was smoked at that point, he couldn't use his abilities, he couldn't really do anything, so he ended up getting killed. No contested kill or anything.
Yeah, but normally if you throw the knife at someone or actually hit him with it, the person will be slowed a little bit and also is prevented from climbing.
Yep.
So that obviously, as you said, gives them time to get away, but obviously you have to use them proper. And the same goes for most of those abilities, just a timing thing. Yeah, can get very interesting. And we just saw some other abilities as well. But now, first of all, let's explain the pursuers interface, as now we are at the pursuers.
Yeah, so as you said, the pursuer has a few additional elements on their screen. They have a compass at the bottom, which you can see is the whiter section is showing that it is leading you towards the target. The wider it gets, the closer you are to the target. When it turns to a bright blue like that, or when it turns to a circle, that means that the target is within 15 meters of you. And then in the top right-hand corner, you have a what's known as the contract system, which has disappeared because the person just died, or just respawned. So there's your contract system in the top right. So to quickly explain, what's known as the portrait is the target that the player is looking for. The important thing to know about this is that the background turns blue when I'm within 10 meters of the target, and the outside or the border turns blue when I have what is known as a line of sight to them. It doesn't mean that they're on screen, it means that I can see the pursuer and there's nothing in the way. So no, for instance, that stagecoach would break the line of sight if they were on the other side. So only when I can see directly them, or they can directly see me.
Yeah, and you can also change between the portraits, so you can actually go and look for someone else.
Absolutely, using the D-pad, you can choose who's going to be your target. Now, a good team will have a target each, so no one gets confused over who's going for which target. Also, at the very bottom, you will see, it's in French. I think some of them will be in English, some of them will be in French, but underneath, or that's just disappeared, there is what's known as the approach meter. You've just seen it appear now. Now it says discret, which means discreet. What will happen is...
Wow.
Yeah, I know. My French knows no bounds. What will happen is, if the player who has their target, you just saw then, it dropped down. If they start doing what are known as high-profile moves, like climbing or running, when in line of sight, that will go down. And that is quite important because you're encouraged to try and build it up as much as possible, because a discrete kill is not worth many points. But if you get a silent kill, which is the next sort of mini line that you can see in the gauge that goes from left to right, that will get you more points. And then an incognito kill, which is what happens when you have that completely full, that's worth the maximum amount of points.
There we just saw the use of the knives.
Yeah, that was an excellent use of the knives to stop them from using the gun against them.
Yeah, and to just quickly explain this little lock sign, you can lock your targets. So basically, if you know that is going to be your target, you can lock them. I only played on PC, so that will be the right mouse button. No, the right one. So basically, you lock them, and that's only going to be in place for like a certain amount of time,
Absolutely.
and then it disappears again. But your teammates see that as well. So
yes.
if you lock a target and they're close by, they will see it as well. So it helps them to like kill your opponents. And we do see it turning blue when you're again in reach.
No, the blue is for my target and a white is for an enemy target.
Okay.
So
now we just saw him finishing off a target.
Yes, absolutely.
You can actually, if your teammates kill a target, you can finish it off when it lies on the floor. So you get like 50 points or something for that.
Correct, yeah. When you use a ground finish, in fact, the whole team can score an extra 150 points if all three team members use the ground finish on a dead body. Of course, that gets a little tricky when there are more bodies in the area than to get the ground finish on, because the body only lasts for a few seconds before it disappears.
Use smoke bomb again and stun, but no use.
So that was a good example of using the animus shield. So Karma saw the target use a smoke bomb, which would have stunned him, but he used the animus shield, which negates the first ability used against that player. The animus shield lasts for a brief period of time, and it only works when you have activated it beforehand.
Okay. And that's Pom, ladies and gentlemen. And he's struggling holding a mic apparently. But yeah, he's currently watching his team. Obviously, the teams are seated very far away from each other, so they don't hear each other shouting and everything. But yeah, Pom.
He's looking very confident with his team at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
he
I
is.
Think,
he seems happy.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, so warm-up is finished. That means we're actually going into the proper games. 5 minutes is going to be for each turn. And overall, it's going to be 3 maps played. So 3 times 10 minutes. And yeah, we saw the TemplassinS winning the warm-up, at least. So let's see if it's going to be the same thing in the actual game or not. Obviously going to be interesting. Feel free to make some bets. Write us via Twitter. Who do you think is going to take it? Who do you think is going to take it overall? And also, of course, your opinions on the game itself will be very interesting to know what you're thinking. Also, the chanting is, not sure, is that actually from the team or do people just get excited?
I think people get very excited, to be honest.
For a short moment, I thought it's like the camera guys and stuff. Just like, yeah, we love it. So, yeah, I think that's from the teams as they're not that far away. But, yeah, it would be interesting. I think the French stream even has like that. They have sounds, not just in the background, but they have the proper sounds as well every now and then from the teams playing up. So I highly advise you to just turn on both streams so you get the footage of both of them. How about that? I mean, everyone has 2 monitors, and if not, just split one. It should be fine. It should be fine. So yeah, basically make sure to watch us both and support us both. And obviously, we're gonna take turns on the casting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with you, Nick.
Yep.
And then later on, it's gonna be you and
Subject 17.
Exactly.
Angie.
Yeah. So she's gonna join for later and many more.
Yep.
Charlotte is coming back as well, or Noctalia. It's always hard to, like, what are you saying now? The nicknames, the real names?
I don't mind. You can call me Nitch or Tim. It doesn't really matter.
I'm going to mix it up at some point.
Okay, yeah.
So
good.
whenever I talk about someone, I probably mean him at the moment. So, yeah, probably the teams are trying to get ready right now, and then we should be starting with the first game. And afterwards, there will be the loser, I think, of the first match going up against
the other
Assassin Français.
Yep.
And of course, after that, the last pair will be made. Although, no, I think after the second game, we have the show match going on.
We have I guess like a kind of gala match.
A gala match, that sounds good.
It sounds far more special than it actually is, but it will be some of the Ubisoft team members and some of the O Gaming team members playing a kind of French international game.
And of course, we have Noctalia, I was about to say, no, Subject 17 playing as well.
Yep.
And she, I think, out of all those people, she's the one who's probably going to do best. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I know her particular favourite game mode is Manhunt, and it isn't mine, so I'm expecting her to do particularly well in Manhunt, and I'm hoping she will carry me. I believe
you're gonna be in the team with her, right?
Yeah,
so we're mixing it up a bit between the French and the English ones.
Yep, I believe so.
So it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, our stream is gonna read for our casters as well.
Of course.
Totally non-biased, but that commentary is probably gonna be very biased. Although. No, not although. I was about to say, I have Noctalia with me, and she's French. She's probably rooting for the French teams. But then again, she's working in our teams right now. So, and also, she's obviously from Ubisoft. So,
who knows?
Who knows? We'll find out. That's definitely going to be a little treat for you guys. So, if you want to see how it looks like if not the proper pros play, definitely make sure to check out after the second match. We're going to show you of the real pros. We're going to have our... What are we calling you? Semi-pros? Pros to be?
The fun game, I think, is probably the best way to describe it.
I love the Team A fun versus Team B one.
Yeah, it looks like Team B is not fun, but Team A is fun. So
yeah, we have like a sheet where it says like what's happening, obviously, the schedule, and it says Team A fun versus Team B. I assume we're Team A fun.
I assume so too.
That's obvious. So the game has launched. We do see the first round right now, and we're currently following the TemplassinS once more, and they're going to be targets once again.
Yep.
And the map we're playing is the Animus Call.
That's correct. So they're off to an okay start. I think they've had a bit of a... I think they're playing a different tactic. Instead of staying as a group of 4, they're staying as 2 groups of 2. They won't score as many points. Someone's already used a smoke bomb on this thing.
It's obviously always a bit risky. If you stand that close together, it's pretty easy for your opponents to drop the smoke bomb and getting you both out of the deal.
But in fairness, the team FRT just scored only 300 points on that first kill, and normally you'd expect to score a lot more points, or I'd expect a team to score a lot more. We can see the score at the top.
We did see the score at the top.
We did see the score at the top.
And now we see it again.
Yeah. Oh, something else that perhaps I should mention. When you die, you are given the option to change your ability set, and so we may be seeing that. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you will occasionally see the different abilities changing, and this is some teams will change their abilities based on the type of player that they're facing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to adjust first and see like what kind of strategy are your opponents going to go for. And the other abilities which just showed up, you also have not only have the 14 abilities and the ranged ability, you also have passive abilities, which are perks.
Yep.
And they're basically permanently. So obviously there you can choose from like quite a bunch. I think it's 10 perks overall you can choose from.
Yes, absolutely. There's 10 different perks. Things like Blender, which will change someone who, one of the crowd, or NPCs as we call them, to make them look like you. There's other things like Unstoppable. That's not so useful in this particular mode, though. We also have the resistance. This is going to be quite useful. This reduces the time you suffer from a stun or a contested kill. Obviously, contested kill is we talked about a little earlier on. This is very important for the pursuers to use something like that. It's very good because if you do end up getting stunned, it's very important that you are quite reactionary straight away afterwards. So I think we'll be seeing those that being used.
They're pretty much almost all together. So, okay, there drops the smoke bomb, and that's going to be a kill. Is he able to stun? Yeah, he is able to stun, or rather she is able to stun. See, that comes the first problem if you have a female gamer. It's not happening too often. So, Aphrodisia, which we think is the girl, Do we have that confirmed?
I'm not 100%.
Because otherwise
sure.
you're going to call a guy a girl.
Okay, well, we'll confirm that later on, I think.
Okay.
Here's a good example of another perk being used. Aphrodisia is using the Sixth Sense, and as you can see, there are two little red arrows, and that's pointing towards anyone who's doing what we call notorious actions. If you remember earlier on, I said about if you run or you jump and you do fast actions, if you do a kill within a line of sight of another player, that's what's known as a notorious action, and that will show up. That gives her a good way to run, to decide how she's going to run away. However, you can't run away when you're in the middle of a smoke cloud like that.
Yeah. So obviously, Smoke Bomb is one of those abilities which I think is used by almost everyone. It's a pretty good offensive as well as defensive spell.
It depending on how you use it. I know that the community who are probably watching at the moment, some of them find it contentious, some of them like it. You will often see that ability being used. Some people use it as a kind of crutch ability. Some people even pride themselves on not using that ability, but at the end of the day, we are in a tournament. There are prizes at stake, so I think people will use whatever they possibly can to try and win within the rules of the game. And currently, all abilities are allowed within this tournament.
Yeah, so we do see Aphrodisia getting slightly out of the way of her opponents, but there is already one. Does he see her? Yeah, I think he knows where she is.
Oh, she got someone.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's going really good for her. Smoke bomb being used, so they keep him locked in that bomb, and another stun.
Oh, she got a stun.
But his teammate just went down. So Lord Junior is down, and obviously she now, as well as the opponent, did saw that Aphrodisia was stunning the opponent.
Absolutely. And I think we currently see 3 seconds left. And there's around a 4,000 point difference in score. So TemplassinS have got quite a lot of catching up to do when they are the pursuers, which will be coming up in just a few seconds.
Exactly. And let's talk a little bit about the map. What do you think does this map favor? Do you think, that there are a lot of areas which are very open? Then again, it has a lot of sneaky tunnels and kind of stuff, and a lot of options to kind of hide. What would you consider to be good playing on that map?
So this is quite an interesting map, and it allowed the map team to go a little nuts with it, because that was kind of the point of the Animus core. The reason being, it's supposed to be kind of the backstory that the Animus, which is what the game is played in, to do with the game story, it's kind of gone a bit screwy. And it's loaded in slightly wrong, so that's why you see what looks like a real-world location that kind of breaks into this kind of weird, blocky, almost dreamlike type area. As far as the strategy on this map goes, it's kind of tricky. There are all sorts of different nooks and crannies within the game. You can see right here, this is a place where you're defended from the outside in many ways, but it's also a bit of a trap, because it also means it's hard for you to get away.
That was a nice use of the smoke bomb there to prevent his opponent to actually run away. Although he did get stunned, and he did get away with it. So Karma currently getting stunned again. But his teammate, Lord Junior, is around the corner, got stunned now as well, and is waiting over there. There comes the kill finally. But the gap is still there. The point difference is still there. It's still almost 4,000, so they do have to hurry up a little bit. We still have 3 minutes and 24 left. So that's still enough time to make stuff happening.
I think so, yeah. I think, but they really need to work together. I mean, we don't know what they're saying to each other. We can't hear them, but they really need to communicate with each other now, because it's a big gap. It's doable, but they really need to work together. As we said before, they're sharing the locks, so you can see that the lock is in the screen ahead, and the only thing is, as you just saw then, the lock will disappear after a short period of time if you don't have line of sight. And this player, Karma, you see, the thing is, he's using a gun, but you're only going to get 100 points from using a gun. At this point, you're really after high-scoring kills, not low-scoring kills. That seemed pointless. He may as well have may as well have let one of his other teammates get close and get more points than 100 points, because that's not going to get, it's not going to allow you to catch up.
But at least they all went for the finishing moves on the ground, which they didn't do before, but now they really figured they need those points. That was a nice kill right there from Karma, getting stunned, but there comes Frank from the back, and there goes his opponent. Once more the ground finishing coming out, and yeah, they really have to hurry up. We have 2 minutes left, and it's still, now actually the gap grew even bigger. So yeah, they really have to push those kills now.
Yeah, absolutely. If I were them, I would have switched to. I'd potentially be using poison, although poison is a great ability for getting extra points, but the trouble is poison takes a while to use, and when someone's poisoned they still have the opportunity to stun you, and of course every time they stun you, and this is the problem with the Templar Assassins at the moment, they are losing points as well, or rather the other team is scoring points on every stun that they make. So no matter how well they do with their kills, every time they get stunned, that's another 200 points that they are that the gap moves away from them. Again, I don't understand why he's using a gun. I think he just killed a civilian, an NPC. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
I mean, you don't get a penalty point for killing a civilian, if I got that right?
In actual fact, when you kill a civilian for a short period of time, you
can't use your abilities.
Yeah,
right?
no, you can use your abilities. You can't make a kill though.
Yeah.
You're what's known as vulnerable. You kind of lose the ability to kill, and I think that's a 5-second countdown.
5 seconds can be very long.
Absolutely, when you're close to an enemy. Actually, it might be 8 seconds. I'm sorry,
Well, that's even longer. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
My brain is having technical difficulties at the moment.
So Frank and Karma both trying to chase this opponent, but obviously he did see them, and there comes the bump again. It did stun him.
They're actually bringing the score back, but in 20 seconds they need to make 1,100 points. No, more than that now. 1,500 points, again. And they're and once again there's a contested kill, so he hasn't got as many points.
Yeah. All right.
Clearly, one team was very happy with that result. I think
love how they did the count. Yeah, the Furtifs took the first map, so that's 3 points on their scoreboard. As for now, as said, we're gonna play in a best of 3. Although we do play out all 3 maps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was only the first one we're going to see. The first 3 points are out. And yeah, of course, once more, if you have any feedback, any questions, feel free to use Twitter. We do read over that once we get a break. Obviously, you can't do that right now, but that was still very close. I'm really happy that the games turned out closer. That's, by the way, the French stream we just saw. I think I saw Noir there, and the other that went too fast. I didn't see it. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So yeah, it's Tut Noir and forgot his name, Damien, right?
Yeah, Damien Keegan. He's the game director of the multiplayer.
Is there a button on the?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's the go button.
It's a GG button.
Oh, okay. GG button.
I mean, I see a G. I was just gonna assume it's a GG button. That will make the most sense. So yeah. That's definitely going to be interesting. I hope all those games are going to be a really close one, as that is just adding to the excitement. And obviously, we're going to hype the excitement up more, but before that, we want to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. And yeah, I hope that is going well so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, what we're not sure of here is there may have been a few jitters. To have like 4,000 point deficit, they did start to bring it back towards the end. I was quite surprised how close it came in the end, but we really hope that they bring a better game to the next one, because if they do that, in the future, it's going to be a problem.
It probably will be. Yeah. It probably will be. Although I'm really fond of very close matches. Blah, blah. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to see which map we're going to play second. Out of the map pool of those 5 maps, do you have any favorite in Manhunt? Is there any map where you would say, or is that a general thing? Like, do you have a favorite as a player?
I've got several favorite maps, but yeah, it does depend on the mode for me personally. So Animus Core is, like I say, quite a fun one because it's very varied, which is very good. Lots of different hiding places. There's certain open areas and certain small ones. Small ones?
Small ones. Yes. We, by the way, currently see the brackets, or rather the rankings. There we see the Furtifs have their first 3 points. And once more, we are in the warm-up, I believe. Do we have a warm-up for each map? We will find
Not
out,
sure.
I'm pretty sure, very soon. Otherwise, you're just going to enjoy the split screen for a second. But yeah,
Yep.
I think I interrupted you with that information. Small ones was the last thing you said.
Small ones was the last thing I said. But here's a map that they're playing on, which is known as Boston Harbor. And this is a very fun map. Actually, I like this one for Manhunt and some of the other game modes as well. Domination, which we'll be seeing tomorrow. This is a fun map for Domination. But yes, it depends, and I speak to a lot of different people, obviously players. Everyone has their own favourite map, and sometimes they just love a map, sometimes they really don't like maps and things like that. So
apparently it's not a warm-up, by the way. So we only have the warm-ups at the first set, on the first map.
Okay.
So this is going right into the action, and at the moment the Furtifs are once more in the lead. They're playing the attackers once more, or rather the pursuers.
Yeah, they're playing the pursuers again from the start, and they've already got a what's that, 3,500 point lead, which you'd kind of expect. You'd expect the pursuers to get a lead. Normally, the better teams, you're going to get a lead as the pursuers. But I have to say, I'm a little worried for the TemplassinS. Because we're 2 minutes into the round, and there's already quite a big deficit in points. But we'll see. So we're now following Melky. Melky,
I guess. Let's make it Melky then.
So this could be interesting. It looks like he's going to go for I thought he was going to go for an aerial kill. I think he's allowing maybe one of his other teammates to take him. I'm not sure. So as we talked about before, you get different points for different kills.
Yeah.
What I thought he was going to do, he's going to do it here, is what's known as an aerial kill. And he'll get more points for the aerial kill. And there was a big reaction there. You'll also notice that when the X comes up above the target's head, there is a sort of gauge that fills up around it. If you allow it to fill all the way up, you get even more points, because that gives you an extra bonus that's known as the focus bonus. And I think we may see a few of those. Certainly if he's going to kill from the roof. I think it looks like he is going to be sticking to the roof. He's kind of helping the other team point out the targets, and then anyone that gets quite close, he's going to take out with an aerial kill. And obviously he's using the pistol, as you just saw. As I said before, it doesn't get you many points, but they're already got a 4,600 point lead, which is a significant lead.
Then we only have 1 minute and 23 left to play, and I actually really like the difference in the play style. I mean, we did follow TemplassinS, whatever. We did follow them at the beginning and saw how they pursue their targets. Although it seems to me that the Furtifs, they play a lot more together. It feels like they make it more of a chase. They like. I can't even. They make it more of a hunt together.
I have to agree. They, there's a really good example. I think the pursuer, the target clearly didn't know what he was doing. Really wasn't aware that there was a guy above him, and I really think there is better communication going on between Le Furtif than the Templar Assassins. I think it shows in the score. I mean, when we were talking earlier on, we were saying hope to see a better game. This is quite unfortunate for Le TemplassinS.
Oh God, we're gonna do so terrible with those names.
Yeah, you're gonna have to struggle with us doing terrible French accents.
But seriously, if you're not French native, now sit at home and try it. Talk to your PC. Try to say those names every now and then. It's just not working. Seriously, it's not. But yeah, okay. My French production guy just tells me in my ear, it's easy. Come on.
Okay.
But the fruits, yeah. No, they are really, really doing a good job right there. And we're going to see the second round, and they will be the targets this time. I really like, at least from what we saw from Melky, that even like his perks were aggressive as well. He went for like the cooldown reduction and stuff, so that they really can make a fast-paced game and really play aggressively and like lurk there, or rather chase their targets into the corners where they want them to.
Yeah.
So very well played so far by the Furtifs.
So and Criso, I guess is how you say his name.
Criso?
Crico.
I don't know.
He's using quite a standard defensive set. You can see he's got Animus Shield. We talked about that before. That would protect him against the player who's using a gun. Looks like he's gonna hit him with a knife. He's gonna get what's known as a knife stun, which but then he got a contested kill. But still, that was a pretty good run for the very first confrontation of the two teams just then, because I think from that he got a stun, contested kill. He stopped one player from scoring at all. He then stopped another player from getting a particularly high score. So he seems to be doing quite well. And as I say, the rest of his ability set, he's got knives, so he can do what you saw on screen just then, and he's got smoke bomb as well, which is quite a kind of safety net to use when playing defensively.
Yes, so currently they're still in the lead, and there's 4,000 points, 4,500 almost.
Yep.
So that's quite a lead. Although we did see in the game before that it is possible to catch up to that, but then you really, really, really have to play together and make that work. So we'll see if that's going to happen or not, or if they're going to take the second map as well. We will be playing the third map, so there will be an opportunity at least for the lovely TemplassinS. Almost.
Yep, to potentially score some points.
Yeah,
at
3
least.
points. I mean, they can still come in handy in the end score. It's always important to get the points. So, tripwire bomb.
Yeah,
just
he's
laid
got
down.
a tripwire bomb laid down. It looks like they're going to set up for an ambush. What he wants the guy to do is run in without using something like the shield. However, there's not much you can do against the gun if you're not using the Animus Shield, or if you are within direct line of sight, you need to get out of line of sight straight away if you hear someone using the gun ability against you.
I mean, as we mentioned before, I'm not sure if you can hear it on stream. I actually hope you actually hear sounds. I mean, we hardly hear sounds, but the targets, they get whispers as soon as their pursuers come close to them, and the pursuer, they get a heartbeat sound. So obviously it's really, really important that you listen to that. If you hear whispers, get the hell out of wherever you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not sure if we hear that, but let's just hope for the best.
Yeah.
It still does 4,000 points lead.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 minutes left. This is going to be hard for Templar Assassins to get back, and they were 6,000 points down, I think, at the start of the round. So they're bringing it back, but you would expect the guys who are the pursuers to score more points. But I think this is going to be a hard-fought battle. We can see Thibaud. So they're all set up in a 4-man, 4 different blend groups, and still scoring as many points as possible, not moving, trying not to give themselves away.
That's probably something which is really hard for new players. If you see your opponents coming up, you kind of want to get out of there. Like, do they see me? Do they don't see me? Do I go out and help my teammate? Do I go for a stun, or is that killing me right afterwards? There's really hard decisions to be made, and those pros really play it cool. But there comes the kill, and it's not even a contested one, if I saw that right.
I'm quite surprised there, because he clearly knew who it was, but I think he was panicking about the 2 guys that were on the roof as well. So and that's something that should be pointed out. If you're on a roof and you attack, not much is going to stop that attack. So if you use smoke bomb, like I said, smoke bomb is good for stunning someone, but you can't use it to stop someone from killing you from above. So you'll sometimes see people deliberately jumping up. It gives them away, but it also means that they can still get the kill, and they don't risk being stunned and losing points that way.
That was a nice kill from Frank. Melky obviously had no idea that he is on about, although he probably heard the whispers once more. But
they've got about 2,000 points in it.
Exactly, but we only have 20 seconds left, and I don't think that is quite possible. I mean,
I think that's going to be very tricky, unless they start getting there's a particular bonus known as variety bonuses, and you can get that from doing various different kills and all sorts of ways of killing and stuns and gun kills and things. So if they've been building that up, no. Oh no!
Did they?
My mistake. Yeah, it looks like Templar Assassin got the last points at the very end, so they came second. Let's see the final score. I missed that. Le Furtifs came second.
Wow, that was impressive. They actually got it back.
Yeah. The scores went too quickly, but
they went too quickly, but it looked like it.
Yeah, they must have been very, very quick. So that suddenly everything's changed around. So that means 3 points apiece.
That was really cool.
But totally
you'd be 6,000 behind at the very get-go, and then you just bring it back so slowly. And even in the last 20 seconds, they bring it back like that. So that's what making that game so exciting. Everything can still happen up to a certain point, obviously. But you just have to go for those sneaky kills and for those impressive counts there, and not only go for the guns.
It just
as
shows
saw.
that I need to pay more attention to the scoreboard. Just talking about the variety.
Oh well.
There we go.
I think you did great.
Okay, thank you.
So, we do have the last map. Currently, it's 3-3 on the scoreboard for those two teams. So, still, no winner determined yet. And the loser will go up against our third team, which is the Assassin Français. I was waiting for some compliments from our production guy, but he just didn't.
Nothing.
No, he says no.
So it's all to play for then, really?
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
Now it's a bit hard to tell. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the upper hand at the start. Who's going to be the pursuer? Who's going to be the target? Because twice now we've seen Templar Assassin as the... still trying to say the name.
Templassin.
Oh,
Templassin?
There we go. So now we can see Templassin.
The Templar Assassins,
so the score is... Okay,
no,
so
it was supposed to be 3-3.
We know what the score should be. There we go.
There it goes.
And there's a mouse. So perfect. So all to play for was an exciting end to the match. I really didn't see that coming. So we'll see what happens with Templar Assassin because they both times now they've been the targets first. Pursuers afterwards, and they've brought it back more than we expected.
They've been behind in both two games. I don't know if they just love making it close, or like just for the show, or for the sake of it, or if it's just I don't know, or if they only get serious right at the end. Not quite sure.
So and here we see Furtifs are currently the pursuers, but. They've only just started getting the lead, so this could be interesting.
Yeah, I was just about to say, for once, they're not ahead right away. But now they are once more.
Yeah.
All right, still no lead to brag about. So, about the map, that one is, I think, the only snowy one we have.
This is the Northwest Passage. It's a new type of map for Assassin's Creed 3. We tried to make several different types of maps. One is what you'd call sort of urban or built up in the area, and this one is more kind of like a natural environment. I know some players are not keen on this because it feels like a much more open map, but it does make for sometimes quite fast-paced. On Manhunt in particular, with a more open map, it means that people are going to be in the line of sight a lot sooner, so it does make hiding quite a bit trickier.
Although we have 3 ships on a map, like 2 smaller ones and a really big one, where you can really play with the line of sight by going up and down and stuff. I mean, they're like in each ship there's like a hole, or it can drop down, and I think that can make chases really, really interesting on it.
And as you say, the bigger ship, you can actually be on the inside, so there are areas and there are lots of little sort of places within the corners that you can use. And something we haven't talked about yet, but you will occasionally see players running through what are known as chase breakers. Now, these are somewhat important in Manhunt, particularly if you're being chased, but more so in some of the other modes. But you may see them running through, and there'll be like a load of ice and snow fall down behind them. And
we saw one of them just before the the screen switched, like if it's glowing slightly, if there's like an entrance which is glowing a little bit,
that's it.
That is one of those chase breakers.
Yeah, and so we may see some players use those, particularly in this map, because I believe there are more in this map than some of the other maps that we saw. So what is it? We've got a 3,000 point lead, something like that, roughly.
Yeah.
So they're not pushing ahead quite as much as they did in the last match. I wonder if they're a little more nervous now, because
it's the one deciding one as well. So that's always like it is the first time for all those players to play in such a tournament.
Yep.
So obviously the nerves, you really have to take that into account. It's something completely different if you're sitting at home playing there in your natural environment and feeling comfy and at ease, than if you go up against teams like on a proper event like this one. So that can obviously always play in. Like the lead really got smaller and smaller. It's like only 2,000 points roughly about.
Yeah.
And now there comes the stun and a stun. Did they get the kill?
That was a bad mistake then. I don't know what Maliki was thinking. Went for a kill on an NPC. I think maybe that was a mistake of a button press or something, because
probably. I mean, it can happen every now and then when you, for example, try to make a ground finish. I think like he just tried that and then you hit an NPC. It happened to me fairly often. Yeah. I mean, he probably not making the same mistakes as I do. I'm just trying to make excuses for him. Now he's going to go for the gun kill again, but there come the knives.
Yeah, using the knife, being a little too obvious. Not quite sure.
Staying right in the open, pulling that gun like, we see that.
I really don't understand.
There come the knives again, and there comes the smoke bomb. So he's being a little bit too obvious, or maybe he just was the one who tried to draw the attention to him by standing there so obvious, as the other two guys just came in and finished the two targets. So I don't know.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's a very good point. He was being very obvious, so perhaps he was trying to draw the attention to make it harder for the team to focus on the people who were trying to sneak up and get better kills. It's quite hard to know, especially when we can't hear what they're saying to one another.
I mean, even if we could hear what they're saying to each other, we're still not speaking French. So that probably wouldn't even help us.
Yeah, that's very true.
No, oh la la. So then we just saw some chase breakers, and that one did break the chase.
Yeah, but he missed the kill. Like 1 second to go, missed the kill. So what is it? 11,900 versus 6,450. So there's still quite a bit of a gap, but
and we saw before it doesn't really matter. So, and we see the abilities being changed now. So you do change them when you become a target. You want to be a bit more passive. We have the tripwire bomb, the smoke bomb, and the knives for Mallet right there.
Yeah, and so he's going to try and play defensively. They're all got into position. No, not quite all got into position yet. But the team, I can hear the whispers. So the team is already on them.
I'm not sure if it's a good position where Mallet.
Yeah, no, he's running in for the stun.
And missing it and getting a smoke bomb to his face. So that was unfortunate. 2 kills here for his opponent. And who was it? It was the Lord Junior. Sorry. That had to happen at some point. Dramatic. I know, right? So, yeah.
So we see him setting a tripwire bomb. As we talked about before, tripwire... if a player comes within that the sort of radius you can see on the floor that's glowing, it sets off effectively like a mini smoke bomb that affects them. But he's used a smoke bomb offensively there. Well, offensive, defensive, as he's on the defensive. But he's trying to get as many stuns as possible, trying to deny as many points as possible to the other team, because they're trying to bring it back. There's still 3,000 points, roughly. 3 minutes 30 to go, so that's
plenty of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for them to we already know, 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, apparently none of the time actually matters to those teams. But it's the first time where it's been that close throughout the whole game. So the Furtifs definitely a bit more aware, I don't know, a bit more scared. They don't seem to play as aggressive as they did before either, like as a pursuer. It might be because of the map, or might be because of the nerves, we couldn't know.
So that was only a 250 point kill though. as I keep saying, the points is very important. The amount of kills is less important, unless you just need to win by a very small amount.
I mean, they're also not really hiding together at the moment. I mean, his teammate, like, one is to the left, one is to the right.
Yeah, I think they're trying to regroup, really. But I've just seen one of the enemies on the screen.
That was a bit obvious running through the open field there. I don't know.
Yeah, so taking you out. But again, only 150 points. It's that's not going to reduce the score deficit, really. Now down to 2 minutes 18 seconds to go, and the score difference is still the same. So TemplassinS really need to pull it back now.
Well, that smoke bomb was a bit misplaced right there, but still he will get the kill on Mallet, and that should be a bit more points there.
Only 200 because he was high profile when he came running in. So yeah, this is 1 minute 50 to go. We'll see. As I mentioned before, it depends if they're building up variety bonuses. That there is a chance that they can get extra points. Also, we talked about perks. We haven't talked about loss and kill streak bonuses.
Yeah, exactly. There's that one as well.
So the kill streak bonuses, I can earn extra points.
Nice done. Very nice.
Very nice done. They can earn extra points with kill streaks. So if I continue to kill without being stunned, it will activate a streak. And some of those streaks are point bonuses. There's a 250 point bonus and a 550 point bonus, depending on how many kills you do and which one's selected. And that can really change the game if you're having a particularly successful run at the end.
There is also stun bonuses, so in case you're playing more defensive, even that can come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. So now Thidbode is just running away. He's not trying to score points, he's just trying to avoid getting killed.
Yeah, and that could actually work out. I mean, there's still almost a minute left, yet he has
and he's
still
triggered a
someone
chase. Yeah, he's got three pursuers after him now.
At least he keeps them away from the other ones.
Yeah, he's trying to
lure them away, but they're all in reach. Like, that could be a really, really close one. 7,000 against 14,600 at the moment. So 30 seconds left.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, and he's used the chase, what's known as a chase meter, which you saw in the top left-hand side. If he manages to avoid being killed within a certain period after a chase is triggered, it means that he earns some points for evading being killed. So
he's even going to go bold in there for a stun, being obvious, already feeling safe to win. There's only 5 seconds left. He will get that kill, but that won't help. Oh, 6,500. That's a good score right there. And it looks like Furtifs won once more, so they should have gotten the second map, not the third map, right there as well. And that will win them the first set of games we just saw. But as we can all see, it's been super, super close up until the very end. And even within the last few seconds, still a lot can happen. You can still make a lot happen. And I think that was a good first match right there.
I think so, yeah. So, there was a few surprises in there, which is good. And of course, that now means that we know that TemplassinS are going to be playing.
It's okay.
Going to be playing against Assassin Français.
It's going to be so terrible for us. Yeah, but they got to play against each other. But they still managed to get a map, which is really important. That's 3 points for them, which will hopefully help them within the next match. So we will see when that's happening or when it's not happening. And for the second match, we obviously have more support. And now we're going to make some switches. But now we have Angie coming in. Angie, join us. We're going to talk a little bit about the games we saw. I mean, you already saw our opinions. Now, your opinion on that first match right there. Did you? Let's make some room for the lovely Angie. Yes, I had to sing that one. I don't know why. So, Angie, you've been watching it as well, and that has been as close as can be. Probably you can get closer, but that was pretty exciting, mostly on the second map. What's your opinion?
I have actually been monitoring YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and just trying to get loads of people to watch. But I have been watching some of the matches, and it was very close, very close.
Did you expect such a close outcome? I mean, you did say you don't root for anyone. You say anything can happen, but did you expect it to be that close at the end?
Yeah, I did, because it's competitive, so I did expect that. I did.
So what's your take then? I mean, we were both saying like Furtifs played. It seemed that they played a bit more together. Would you agree with that, or did you not see enough to actually make a statement about that?
I didn't really see enough, but the parts that I did see, they were playing well as teams, you know, both sides. So that's really important in a competitive match. You have to play as a team.
Definitely. No, that's why it's called a team match.
No way.
So, yeah, I know, right? But we still have those 3 points for TemplassinS. Are you going to struggle with those names as much as we do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, don't expect any improvement then.
So
sorry.
I think I said earlier on that I thought TemplassinS were looking like possibly the favourite for me. I think my opinion is changing now.
Okay, I take Furtifs as the favourite for me. You can.
Yeah. Okay, but we have still yet to see Assassin Français.
Either good on that
Thank you.
one.
Okay, that's all right. We'll try and stick with that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because the teams are switching up now. They'll have one warm-up, I believe, and then they'll be straight into it. I guess the Furtifs are going to be pretty pleased with that. 6 points on the board versus 3.
That's a good lead, I would say. And that should make them comfortable going up against the Assassin Français.
It's very good.
Yeah, thanks. Production says no. Well. So we were talking about the maps and like which one to favor, and we saw like the last map has been played completely different from the Furtifs than they did before. Like they play a lot more aggressive on the other 2 maps. For you, as you're a player yourself and you play a lot, how much does your style differ from map to map?
Incredibly different, actually. My favourite map is Virginian Plantation, and Northwest Passage is a really tough match to play if you're in a team mode. I don't know what it is about that map, but it's just different.
Is it harder, you feel, or?
Yeah, it can be harder to score. Yeah, definitely. Maybe it's probably because it's not like on so many different levels, and you've not got so many like aerial assassinations, things like that going on. But for some reason, I struggle in that match myself.
You seem like we weren't the only one.
Yeah.
That match has been played out a lot different than the first 2 we saw. So, I mean, we will continue to see that map as we only have 5. So, chances are we're going to see it again. Yep. So, we will see how the other teams are going to do on that map. Now, we're going to go into a quick commercial break, and afterwards, we hopefully will be back with the next game coming up. So, that one will be brought to you by those lovely people next to me. And but before that, let's just one more mention that you guys should be aware, go on Twitter, give us feedback. Let us know what your thoughts are. As you just heard, she is managing Twitter and everything. And
yes,
she is looking for it.
I have been.
Yeah, she won't do it during the cast, but I will take over that one. So make sure to give us some feedback. We thank you very much for watching. Continue watching, and also open up the French stream to get some insight of the teams. I say bye for now. We're going to go into a quick commercial break and be right back with the next match.